Greetings and salutations, and welcome to some more Kerbal space program, Amateur Hour with Fraggle. Today is a monumentous day, kinda. The Kerbals are gonna make an attempt for the moon. Oh yes, they have cobbled together this insane contraption. At the very top here we have our command module with return engines. Do we? Oh no, we need to put a heat shield on here with enough, hopefully enough for a return, maneuver fuel and landing fuel. The orbital, the lunar orbital maneuvering rocket, with any luck. The Kerbal orbiting maneuvering rocket. Yeah, I'm getting there. And then the orbital injection portion. Well, okay, so the first thing we need to do is remember what the keyboard controls are. I want to remove this bit here. I need a heat shield. General arrow. That should do the trick. Right. So, parachute, heat shield, separator. Alright, that should get us there now. So job one, job one is to make orbit. So, without further ado, 5, 4, 2, 1. Do our turn. So now, well, nose are over a little bit now. Now we're getting up into a thinner atmosphere. Slowly take her over to about a 45 without flipping her over. There we go. Our Apoapс is climbing nicely now. $40,000. $50,000. $60,000. 70,000. So now 74, 75. So we've got a minute. To my apps. So I'm just going to trim her up a little bit. Seconds. I'm going to wait till I get down to about 30, then I'm going to fire this engine up again. Try and be as efficient as I can, given my complete and utter ignorance of rocket science. So I'm watching keeping an eye on my time to apps. I don't want that to get too far ahead of me because then I waste fuel trying to chase it. And there we are. Not a fantastic orbit yet. And we are now in orbit. Look at that. So now I'm going to hit the magic button. Right, now we have established an orbit. We need to figure out how to get to the moon. So I'm going to set that as target. So there's our closest approach, which is pretty far away. Oh! Oh, hello. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with that. It gets me pretty close. Well, I've got an encounter, so once I hit the encounter point, I can correct any issues because I have plenty of fuel available. So we are just going to point ourselves. We got a burn of 848 meters per second. So we're just going to point this thing now at the direction we need to be facing. And we have our node in about 24 minutes. Alright, 30 seconds to burn, so we're going to do our little quick save. Everything looks like it's pretty good. We got ourselves pointing in the right direction. So we're just going to do a full burn for approximately 27 seconds. Now the reason I started it early is because it's a 27-second burn. We don't want to be headed into plus 27 seconds. That would put us off target, I would imagine. Okay, Let's see what we got. We need a little bit more oomph. There we go. Now we have a capture. Do we? Let's get rid of this. This node here. Yep. Now we have a capture right there. Not bad. Huh. So, we still got lots of fuel left, so we can use this for maneuvering once we get to our destination. So join me shortly, and we will continue our journey towards the mysterious lump of cheese, which is over here. We're going to be chasing it down. Welcome back. And we have our capture established. Our periapse is quite high. So we're going to have to adjust that. So we will put a maneuver node here. And we will burn off some of this energy. And that puts us into a rather nice, almost perfectly flat orbit, in fact. Quite a high one, though. So we will bring that down a little bit. 200. 100. Alright. So, that's not terrible. 256. So we just need to maneuver around. Luckily we have the sun. Uh-oh. Put the brakes on! Put the brakes on! This sucker's heavy. Has a lot of momentum to it. Okay, so we're roughly lined up. So, we got an hour and 33 minutes to kill. Alright, 15 seconds. And let's kill some of this momentum. Did that a little early. 190. There you go, 99, that works for me. So we'll kill that one. Add another maneuver over here. And we'll burn that off too. Get the quick save. Nine. 8, 7, 6, 5. There we go. Good enough for me. So, now, let's have a look at the moon. Put it on a big map and see if there are any anomalies that we can aim for. On the moon. There we go, that's better. So it looks like we have a little anomaly right here. I wonder if we can put her down close enough to that. So that's near that big crater there. I can't remember how you drop a marker. Ah, the east crater. That's what I want to do. Ah! So. We can get rid of this guy here. Now, I just have to figure out where the east crater is. Ah! Well, look at that! Isn't that handy? Alright, well, let us see if we can put her down. We'll just see if we can put her down in this kind of area here. It's... Yeah, alright. So what I'm going to do is hit quick save. So, that's our target. Well, that's where the anomaly is supposed to be. So let's see if we can get her pretty close and we can just kind of walk it. So, we want to land roughly in there. But I also want to kill as much of my horizontal speed as I can. So that is going to be our deorbit burn right there. Fingers crossed. Get that thing away from me. Right, so I want to head that way a little more. This thing handles much better now. Okay, and now I'm going straight down, aren't I? So now, Flight Engineer has changed, and I have a new couple of bits of information. The suicide burn. This tells me when I need to start burning my engine. And for how long before something horrible happens. Now, there's a bit of a mistake here. I've actually overcompensated the amount of fuel that I was going to use. I wasn't anticipating having this still attached to me. However, not a problem, because it does give me the ability to maneuver a lot longer than I considered. So I want to thrust that way a little bit. Because it looks as though I am going to be landing way off target. Yep. See, I'm down to 15,000. I'm starting to get a little twitchy. So what I think I'm going to do is cut my horizontal movement entirely now. There's my shadow. Where are we? Oh no! Oh no! No, no, no! No, 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 no! Well, that's going to be a little bit of a problem. Hooray for reaction wheels! We are down. So, the next job. Let's collect our data, shall we? They say insanity is doing the same thing multiple times and expecting a different result. You can check the atmosphere pressure again anyway. The sensor has detected a minor quake on the surface. Collected and recorded temperature data from the environment. The goo seems to be less dense here. Right. I wonder what happens if I turn SAS off. Sure if that's a good thing or not. Okay, so, crew report. You record the crew's assessment of the situation. So I don't need that anymore. Time for Jeb to go EVA. Ugh. That's definitely a small step for Jeb. You look up and search the sky for Kerbal. Suddenly, you feel very small. The sample contains a combination of breccia and melted materials. And now we plant the flag. One small step for Kerbal, one giant fall from the command module. So now we're going to leave this thing rocking away to itself there, and we're going to go looking. That's a fair distance. It's a very, very long way. That's such a shame. I don't think we're going to risk it. That's a long way to travel. We're just going to admire the view over the crater. Nice one. And there we have it. The moon in all its glory. Certainly not made of cheese. Jeb, the very first Kerbal to ever see and touch another body except Kerbin and Val. Time to go back. We will collect all the experiments. And oh, we're going to have to stand it up again. That's great. Very good, Dad. Collect the data. Take the data. You silly Kerbal, you. Take the data. Oh, come on. Oh, that's the landing strut. I don't want that. Yeah. Whoa! Uh-oh. Well, that could be a bit of a problem. Our Kerbal just seems to have smashed the other landing leg off. So we are going to take that data. Well, this is an interesting new ship design. Right. Now, time for the fun part. Getting back home. First thing to do is establish an orbit around the moon. Looks like we're going to be starting our burn in the darkness. And Jeb looks highly excited about that idea. Let's make sure I have this sucker lined up properly. 21 seconds. Fifteen. 10, 9, 8. What the heck. This is a long burn anyway because of these little engines. Now I'd like to point out, Jeb, that the heat shield on this thing is currently untested. There we are! Impact! So, kill that. Warp here. So, 100,000 or 100, well, we're going at a 90. We're going to burn off the rest of this fuel, which won't take long. Get rid of that. And now, Jeb has to pray and hope that this heat shield will hold up under these tremendous amount of pressure that he's about to experience. G-meter rising rapidly. Down into the lower atmosphere. $5,000 meters. Oh dear. 3, 2, 1. Deploy the chute, Jeb! With just 600 meters to go. And a nice dark landing. Jeb has managed to re-enter the atmosphere at mind-blowing speeds. And survive G-forces that would make normal men steady themselves against counters. And of course the heat shield did precisely what it was supposed to do, and it looked like it had a lot of life left in it. And there he is! Jebediah, the very first Kerbal to step foot on the moon and return to Kerbin successfully. He's now landed somewhere in the middle of the ocean and has no clue where he is. He has to sit here and wait for the E-probe to go off, assuming somebody remembered to pack the batteries for it, and the rescue craft to come and find him. Days later, the rescue craft finally locates Jeb and tows him back home for some reason. I think they were a little scared that his excursion into space and beyond may have potentially brought back things that creep and crawl in the night. After a short 2-hour stint in isolation, Jeb was let go and handed over all the science he collected. And quite a haul of science it was too. 402 in all. That is not a bad day's science. Well, actually it was 4 or 5 days, wasn't it? Continuing, counting the trip there and back. Jeb himself gained an entire 5 XP. Almost enough for another star on his belt. Well, what can you say? The recent accomplishments of our space program have attracted contributions from numerous organizations. We've been handed some money, some science, and some very well-earned reputation. And we have indeed returned from the surface of the moon. Quite a triumph, I think.